Welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and here's what's happening in our territory. Let's go right now to News Channel 8's Wes Small with this late-breaking story.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. This story just handed to me that the Youth Rehabilitation Services, in conjunction with the Virgin Island Police Department, have just announced the return of 17-year-old Kareem Lewis. You might remember he had attended that beekeeping class last weekend at UVI with several other students from Youth Rehabilitation Center. He asked to use the restroom, and then he escaped. Well, after much pressuring on the family and friends about his whereabouts, we are glad to report today that Kareem Lewis is back inside of the Youth Rehabilitation Center after he turned himself in earlier this morning. Details are still sketchy, but it is good that he turned himself in without incident. No one got hurt. We don't know if anyone will be charged during his absence from the Youth Rehabilitation Center for aiding and abetting Kareem. But again, 17-year-old Kareem Lewis, that prisoner that had escaped from the Youth Rehabilitation Center at UVI in the beekeeping class, he is now back behind bars at YRC. We'll keep you updated on this situation as it develops. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
In other news, the Virgin Islands Police Department are educating our young students about gun safety. News Channel 8's Wes Small has the story.
Well, today we're at Alexander Henderson School out west in St. Croix. And as you can see behind me, some of the proud honor roll statistics here. Of course, right here, very proud, America's first black president, Barack Obama. Today, the school is being educated on gun safety, a necessary program started by the Virgin Island Police Department and other entities. We're going to go to the library and see what's going on with this program. Gun safety, very important in our territory. Right off the top of my head, this reporter can tell you some statistics that last year, the Virgin Island Police Department confiscated around 120 illegal weapons in our territory. And this year, we are already at the 300 mark. That can tell you that guns are definitely a dangerous part of our culture here in this territory. We don't manufacture weapons here, so how are they getting in? Are they getting in at the trailers, at the container port? Are other people bringing them in? These are some issues that we have to deal with. But right here at the school, at least the children are being educated on gun safety. Just this morning in the area of John F. Kennedy, I heard 6 shots just go off in rapid concession. So we really have to be careful about guns and violence in our territory. And right here, we're at Alexander Henderson, so let's go to the library to find out how our students are being educated about gun safety.
We're not here to teach you whether guns is good or whether guns is bad. We're here to teach you what you should do if you encounter a gun, if you happen to see a gun. So let me ask you this, without getting to the message, if you're riding the school bus to or from school, and I want you to raise your hand, and I'll point on you, and if you're riding the school bus and you should happen to see a gun under the backseat of the school bus, what are you going to do? Raise your hand, right here, what are you going to do? You're going to leave it alone. Okay, that's good. What are you going to do? No, we will not pick it up. And that's one of the reasons we're here. We will not pick it up. What are you going to do if you're at home and you happen to see a gun up on the shelf? What are you going to do? You'll tell your parents, over here.
I'll take it and hide it.
No, you will not take it. Listen to me very carefully. Okay, that's good. Let me from Jump Street, let you know what to do if you see a gun. If you see a gun, you're going to stop, you're going to don't touch, you're going to leave the area, and you're going to tell an adult.
Wow, this is just fantastic. I'm here with Officer Richardson, and again, it's all part of an anti-gun, well, I don't want to say anti-gun, but it's gun awareness, and Eddie the Eagle is like the spokesperson, or whatever you want to call it, and they're like Smokey the Bear, and also like McGruff, the crime dog who takes a bite out of crime. Officer Richardson, I just gave some statistics before. We all know about 120 illegal guns last year, and you guys unfortunately have confiscated nearly 300 this year. This is a fantastic thing, and you were telling me that you started on Monday with Claudio Marco, and the response has just been fantastic. Gun safety with Eddie the Eagle. Tell us all about it.
Okay, good morning, Wes, and the listening audience. The Eddie Eagle Gun Safety Program is a program that was started by the NRA, the National Rifle Association, back in 1988, approximately 20 years ago. And since the program started, it has reached out to over 1 million kids across the United States and Puerto Rico. This program does not teach kids whether guns are good or bad, but rather if they see a gun, what to do. And it's a preventive measure and it's a safety measure. And Eddie teaches the how to stay away from guns by teaching 4 simple basic messages.
Let me see if I got it. Now, I've been to the seminar now, and let me see if I can get it. I can't retain as much information as these youngsters, but stop.
Stop.
Look.
Don't touch.
Oh, see, I messed up already. You stop.
You stop. You don't touch. You leave the area, and you tell an adult. And we teach them that they don't just tell any adult, but they tell a responsible adult.
And the way they do the dance is the Eddie Eagle dance, and stop, don't touch, and I just love it, though. It's fantastic. And yeah, you do the dance. This is the Eddie Eagle dance.
Okay, actually, what we teach the kids is when Eddie makes an appearance in school, he's gonna expect the kids to know his dance, which is the Eddie Eagle Shuffle. So therefore, we're also teaching them the Eddie Eagle Shuffle. And the Eddie Eagle Shuffle goes something like this. If you see a gun, you stop, you don't touch, you leave the area, and you tell an adult. Once again, you stop, you don't touch, you leave the area, and you tell an adult.
And they get certificates and everything like that.
Exactly, Wes. It's also a certificate program. Once the kids complete the Eddie Eagle program, they are presented with a Eddie Eagle certificate. And we also inform the kids that they now become an ambassador of Eddie Eagle. It's now their job to go ahead and spread the word about gun safety. If they see a gun, they stop, they don't touch, and they leave the area and tell an adult.
All right. Before we wrap this up, there are parents out there with firearms in the homes and things like that. Is there one important message that you can get out to them? And I'm sure they should already know this to be a qualified carrier of a weapon, but perhaps you'd like to reinforce something to the parents this evening.
Well, the most important message that I would like to tell the parents, if they do have a registered firearm in the home, to make sure they secure it, get themselves safe, and secure the firearm away from the kids.
Right now, the DVDs being played with Eddie the Eagle as he teaches these children the very important impacted message about gun safety. And again, it's not anti-gun, but it's about gun safety in our community. Thank you very much, Officer Eddie.
Thank you.
With you and Officer Richardson, with you and your crew here, and the staff and faculty here at Alexander Henderson, y'all are doing a great job back in there with the kids.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So once again, that's just another part of community involvement with the VIPD, and it couldn't have happened at a better time. Like I said last night in my report, the Boys and Girls Club in the Virgin Islands could be shutting down in a few hours. So I think it's even more important that the media go to these schools, go to these scholastic events, and make sure that the Boys and Girls Club and entities like that don't come out of our community. After all, I care about the brown pelicans. I care about seagulls. I care about coral reef. But you know what? That's the environment. Mother Nature will heal itself. That's the earth. But our children, no, they can't heal themselves if we take away the Boys and Girls Club and people like Officer Richardson. That's not going to happen, and it's not going to happen on my watch. At Alexander Henderson, it's about gun safety today. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
If you see a gun, what are you going to do?